Hello everyone and welcome back to another EV Geek podcast review. Joel, Sebastian here today, and we have the beast today. 2025 Hummer EV truck. It's the 3X. 3X, does the 3X stand for tri-motor?
Well, 3X is a trim level, and it just happens to be tri-motor.
So it is the tri-motor. Other tech specs, it's on the 22-inch all-terrain tires. These are humongous tires, by the way. What else am I missing, Sebastian, on the tech on this?
All right, so 3X is tri-motor. This one has the 20-module battery pack instead of the 24 module. So the 20 module is about 180 kilowatt hour usable capacity, and I believe this one, the sticker says EPA range is 312 miles.
312, yep.
Which crazy that difference between this and a Silverado, but it's because it's got an extra motor.
Yep.
And the mud tires, all that.
Yep.
And since it's the 20 module pack, the tri-motor has, I believe, 830 horsepower.
Ooh, okay.
Compared to 1,000 horsepower when you get the big battery because of voltage difference and everything. I'm super pumped about this.
Yes.
I don't know if you noticed, the roof is off.
We took the roof off, y'all. It's a cloudy day here in Little Rock. Actually, no rain today, so we thought, you know what? We'll get some shots with the roof off. Very easy to take off, by the way, and we'll have some videos of that too for you.
And also, it's on air suspension. We have it currently in extract mode.
Yes.
And Joel, you're 6'2"?
Yep.
I'm 6 foot tall, and
you can actually see.
it's pretty high up there.
It's pretty high up there. So you have to use the step rail to get up into it.
I'm so excited for this thing. It crab walks.
Yep.
It has WTF mode. Watts to freedom.
Watts to freedom.
Because, I mean, again, it's a tri-motor off-road beast that somehow also weighs 9,000 pounds.
And stops on a dime.
And stops really hard and corners pretty well.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm just super pumped about this.
So we're excited. We're going to do a quick outside tour, show you some around the outside, then we'll hop inside, show you some of the tech. We'll also share some of the thoughts that we got from the social media community about some things we need to look for on this car. Thanks for joining us, and let's get started. All right, we are back. Sebastian's going to give us his outside review before we head on inside and do a driving test. Sebastian, take us on a tour.
Yeah, so as previously mentioned, this is a 2025 Hummer EV truck, 3X trim level. They call this color Interstellar White, which to me is just a flat white, but it's still, I think it's one of the better colors for the Hummer EV. This one does not have the off-road package on it, which is why it has these 22-inch wheels and not the 18-inch wheels that I've seen so many Hummers on already. Just kind of talking about the outside, air suspension, currently in the high setting. The size of that shock is insane.
Gosh, look at that. It's huge.
Coming around too, this thing is built and shaped like a brick, which is part of why I think it looks really good.
Not aerodynamic.
Not at all. This is like an 8-mile drive over here, highway, and we got 1.5 miles to kilowatt hour.
1.5, yep.
So, and that is pretty indicative of what EPA rating has it at as well. The roof comes off, which is super cool.
Yep, and
this one has two options for the roof panels. You can either have opaque roof panels or transparent roof panels. The transparent is an extra option. This one has the opaque roof panels. I've seen a lot of talk online about get the opaque and not the transparent because the transparent lets in a lot more heat.
Gotcha.
And so they're basically saying if you want to look out the roof, just take the roof off. Which I think is fair.
Makes sense.
Yeah, which I think is fair.
Because those people who are going to buy this are probably going to want to drive with the roof off.
Yeah, so real quick, we're going to pause.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a video of us taking the roof off just to show. Each panel has 2 latches on it. You just open the 2 latches, pop them up, and then you're good. So we're going to cut real quick and show you a video. Okay, we're back. So that wasn't too bad at all. That was actually pretty easy. It's important to note we put them in the bed because there's a bunch of stuff in the frunk. However, this one does have the bags for you to put the panels in, and then you can actually store all 4 panels in the front trunk. So while we're talking about the front trunk, let's go open it. So you've got a button down here in the middle. When you press it,
those Hummer lights on
it's going to light up and blink. Oh.
I got the keys in my pocket. There we go.
Joel had the key, not me.
I had to move it a little closer.
And so this is what I mentioned. You have a bunch of stuff up here. That said, it's a pretty dang big frunk.
It is.
I mean, it's big enough, again, to store all 4 roof panels in it. And that's what these are. These are the bags for the roof panels. This one also has the included level 2 charger that comes with a 110 volt.
We don't suggest doing that.
which I'll let you kind of do the math on how long it would take to charge a truck at 1.3 kilowatts
and if you need to get
with 180 kilowatt hour battery pack.
Y'all do the math. Good luck with that.
That said, I mean, it's a pretty bare bones basic frunk. You know, there's not like a whole lot. You only have a 12 volt power outlet. You actually don't have any 120 volt power outlets, which I kind of think is odd, especially because I believe the Silverado had a 110 on the front, right?
On the work truck, yes.
Okay, so it's a little odd, but again, this is marketed differently. This is not a work truck you do work in. This is a truck you buy
to cruise South Beach, Miami,
because you think it looks really cool, and you maybe we're going to take it on some light off-roading. I know this thing is probably capable of doing more intense off-roading, but I can't imagine taking a vehicle this large and this heavy down an actual trail.
Yes.
To close the front, you just press the button again. Pretty straightforward. And power open, power close, which is great. This light bar is super cool. Let me see if I can get the headlights turned on.
There it is, look at that.
So this thing is also cool. When it charges, these blink, and each bar is a percentage. I believe there's 10 segments in here, so there's 10 bars and they fill up as it charges. But this thing looks awesome. I imagine it looks awesome at night as well.
Yes.
And your headlights are actually down here low in the bumper too, which is a nice touch since this thing is so tall that maybe you won't blind every oncoming motorist. Really on the outside, we'll come back around this side. This one of course has 360-degree cameras, as expected. You can see some here. It even has really cool cameras we'll talk about on the inside that are under the truck and do all sorts of stuff. We got this car dirty today too, y'all.
We
barely drove it.
We barely drove. We got the car dirty.
The charge port is in the correct location.
Yes.
So you've got this is currently CCS. I'm sure at some point it will switch to NACS because GM now has access to Tesla superchargers. Yep. It is important to note, this and the Silverado and the Sierra are high voltage cars. And so when you go up to a supercharger, they actually do a really cool thing where if the charger supports high voltage, there's a contactor that clicks, joins the packs, they become an 800 volt pack. When the truck is just driving around, it's a 400 volt car. And so when you go to a Tesla supercharger, it stays in 400 volt mode, which means it will only charge at, I believe it's like 150 kilowatts. Yep. The peak charge on this thing is supposed to be over 300. But since it doesn't do high voltage on a supercharger, it can't get to that kilowatt rating. Coming around back, all fairly standard. Because this one doesn't have the off-road pack, it doesn't have the tow hooks right here, like we had on the front.
We had them on the front, yep.
This being a GMC truck now, it has the multi-flex, multi-pro, whatever they call the tailgate, where you can hit that button, fold down just the top half. You can pull this out, and it's like a load step, and then you can hit wrong button. Oh,
it's lock and unlock.
Let me just close it.
There we go. Close it up. Also,
there it goes.
There we go.
I think I was doing it out of order. I think once you have it down, you can.
Comes with the bed liner.
Yeah, once you have it down, you can do this. And then it has no handle, but you can use it as a step.
There you go.
Although there's nothing to grab on.
If you're old like me and you gotta get up in the bed, that's what you use.
While we're in the bed too, we can talk about, kind of wish it wasn't in extract mode right now. It does have a power outlet in the bed. One. And it says max 400 watts. So there's not a lot of power conversion on that. That said, I believe this does support vehicle to load, vehicle to home stuff through the J1772 port. I believe it will support GM's new power flex. I don't remember what they're calling it. I'm sorry, GM. That's right. Anyway, they have a whole system with an inverter and all that where you can do the vehicle to home. You just plug in your car. It has the transfer switch. Power goes out. Truck comes on. Powers your house. Blah, blah, blah.
Gotcha.
And then they also sell some accessories like you can plug into the J1772 port and it's like a little surge protector. It just has multiple power outlets. So that's how you get power out of this thing. Not through the bed outlet because it's only 400 watts. Yep. Really, there's not a whole lot else to talk about on the outside of this thing other than the fact that it just looks sick. I mean, look at the look at the lighting. You've got these tail lights are H's but sideways. Like, it just looks really cool.
Yep. And then once again, huge shout out to Guatney Buick GMC in Sherwood for letting us borrow this for the day. Justin, thank you and your team for letting us take this out today and have some fun with it. So last little tour here of the outside before we head on in and play with the tech and do a driving review. See y'all in a bit. All right, before we hop in, oh, sorry, Sebastian.
You're okay.
Before we hop in, we're gonna just give you a little tour of the back before we head out and drive, so because it's got a lot of little neat things back here. All right, Sebastian, give us a quick tour of the back.
All right, so first off, bottom of the seat, you can flip up. This side has the subwoofer in the way, so you don't get a lot of storage. This side, though, you have a lot more space. You've got a air compressor right there, which is actually kind of cool for up tires. There we go. You kind of just pull on it to get it down. You also, of course, have your center console with cup holders and a weird square. And this has the cool GM feature of you have seat back storage as well, that you could put just small random items.
Sodas, purse or something back there, hide it, yes.
You do have climate control here in the rear, which is nice considering, I mean, this cab isn't huge.
Yes.
And so the fact that you have actual independent rear climate is pretty cool. You get heated seats back here as well. And then full auto, you have a USB-C port and a USB-A, a little pocket here to store things, and all the way on the floor you have another 110 volt or 120 volt power outlet. You also have dedicated air vents, which is awesome because, again, just because it can have it. This isn't a huge, I mean, it's a big cab, but it's not huge. I'm actually going to crawl in real quick.
So we'll see if you're 6 foot. How you
I'm
sit?
6 foot. This is where I had the seat when I rode in.
Plenty of headroom, yep.
This is fine. Tons of headroom. Like,
be a lot more if we took that roof back off.
oh yeah. Yeah, this is good. No complaints. Seats are pretty upright, but that's pretty normal for a truck.
Can't recline much.
No. But really, I mean, this is all great. This is no problem.
These are the leather seats, yes.
This is the darker package, so there's a white interior that has kind of the top's all white and the door panels are white. Actually, just shove it off real quick while we can. You've got the moon on the speaker grill, which is pretty sweet. And then you've got these nice kind of copper, bronzy accents, and yeah, it looks good.
Yes, it does look good.
All right.
Got the little American flag up here too on the outside.
Heck yeah.
All right, now we're gonna go inside and give a review of the tech and the driving. All right, we've made our way to the inside of this Hummer EV3X. All right, Sebastian, let's talk about this software.
All right, so actually before we do software, let's just kind of look at the interior.
Sure.
So you have obviously cup holders with a little door. You have another door here that covers a wireless phone charger, USB-A and USB-C port as well.
So I was told in the comments that this is a cold charger as well. Yep.
Oh, it's pretty chilly.
Yeah, it's a cold charger, yes.
All right, good to know. This is your wheel. We'll talk about this in a minute. Because this is the first Ultium vehicle, it has the center console mounted shifter, and you'll notice it has L mode. So they don't do L mode on them anymore, and they kind of moved all to the column shifter. This being the first Ultium vehicle as well, it has a physical start-stop button, which is whatever. It doesn't bother me. You drive a Tesla, so it probably bothers you more than it bothers me.
Yeah, because I won't forget to hit it when I get out.
We come over here, steering wheel. This one does have Super Cruise. Excited to try that out later, how Super Cruise works on a 9,000-pound SUV.
That's the visual sensor for Super Cruise to make sure your eyes are.
So this is actually the warning light. Your sensor is down here.
Okay, gotcha.
Steering wheel, though, this is all fairly standard stuff. You do have a heated steering wheel, which you said works really well. This is all your standard driver's assist. This controls the screen over here. We'll talk about it in a minute. Over here on my side, you don't really have to show it. You have your Frunk button, your tailgate button. You do have a button that'll drop all 4 windows at the same time. And we just discovered you can actually roll the back window down completely as well, like the actual rear glass. You also get a digital rear view mirror that has some adjustments, or if you don't like it, you flip that. Now it's just a regular mirror.
Which you would expect a $100,000 car.
Right.
So sticker price for this is $107.
107. I believe they have it listed at 102.
102, gotcha, okay.
Of course, it's way over the limit. There's no tax credit or anything. This is the maximum tax credit's 80 grand.
Yep.
You've got really good storage here in the center. This is a pretty dang big center console.
Big.
You've got a 12-volt outlet in here as well. We were kind of talking about materials in here. So seats are all leather. This is kind of an odd material.
It's like a rugged, hard plastic almost.
Kind of. And it's the same material on the top of the seats.
Yeah.
This is one of those areas too. So this has, I believe they call lunar shadow interior. I don't remember what the other one is, but the other interior is white. So basically everywhere you see this kind of greenish color is white on the other interior. I kind of think I might like that one more. I don't mind this at all, though. This is still nice. I love these bronze accents.
Yes.
It looks really good. Nice. All right, let's talk about the screen.
Back to the screen.
So we'll kind of talk here. This is part of the screen protector. We're not going to take it off because it's not my truck. Yep. So this actually isn't there. This is all kind of continuous black bar. I love the climate controls. You have these hard switches to adjust temperature, and then it's on the screen above. And then you have heated and cooled seats, so you hit that, and then you can hit the corresponding button. All that's super nice, works super well. This is great. I love this implementation. You have down here as well, this is your heated steering wheel, traction control, hazards, parking assist, and it will allegedly park itself. Yep. Which a vehicle this size, you probably might use some more than other vehicles.
Especially in tight spots.
Let's talk about infotainment. So this looks a lot like all the other GM Android infotainment systems, but it's important to note the Hummer was the first Ultium vehicle that came out. And unfortunately, in the quick drive over here, I can tell that it has aged some, as far as like snappiness goes.
Because we've driven
when we drove Equinox and Silverado, those were pretty instantaneous and fast. This one has an air of slowness to it, and I hope that GM sees it and will actually update it at some point. But it does function a lot of the same. It actually, because it's the first one, it has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, wireless. And going through it, this is a lot of the same options that we kind of are used to. So we'll come up here, Maps. It has Google Maps.
Now we are in demo mode.
We are in demo mode, and it comes. It tells me that every time we get in here. But you can just kind of see as it's going through. Some of the animations are just slow. Like, so I'm going to go in here and I want to go to Austin, Texas. Like, just the lag between like the steering wheel coming up, for example, or not steering wheel, keyboard. Yeah.
As you see, it does take a minute here to kind of load.
That was actually way faster than it did it earlier. That said, it didn't automatically do charging stops. So then I'll hit add charging stop. There we go. And so this is the other thing that catches me off on these GM vehicles. So you see this first stop says 17 minutes. Cool. Gets you there at 16%. And it says an hour and 36 minutes.
It did that one out of the car. Was it the Silverado?
Or was it the... It was one of the
those two that had a long charging stop.
And I think it's part of... So it is not factoring in that this vehicle can charge on superchargers. And so because of that, I can attest that the Electrify America situation down there is not amazing. And I don't know anywhere in here to go in and tell it that it's okay. And you can use... Like,
Tesla's not
supercharger on Tesla. Okay, wait, hold on. Maybe we're getting somewhere.
There we go.
I think it's funny that these are the common, and then you have to come down here.
I believe we had to do this too in the Silverado too.
America. Okay, so let me just, I'm curious now that we have supercharger selected. If I come in here, we're going to route to Austin again. Because it's in demo mode, it's also not keeping my recents, which is a little annoying. But again, it's in demo mode, so I don't expect it to do too much. I want to add charging stops. Nope, did the same thing. Anyway, you wouldn't have to stop for an hour and 34 minutes. But I say this in every video. I believe a route planner should be able to do what the route planner says. And so that would require a little bit more manual.
Not have to have another route planner up just to double check.
That would require a little bit more manual configuration than you would get in, say, like a Tesla.
Gotcha.
But this is something too. This vehicle does OTA, whatever. They, in theory, can fix it. It runs Android Automotive, so it has... Again, that's some of the slowness. It has the Play Store, so when Google releases a map update, you can get it from the Play Store. Again, we're not an owner of the car, so it's not signed in, so we can't actually get any apps on here. But you could download Spotify to it, whatever. Coming in here to the energy screen, this is all pretty similar to stuff we've seen on other Ultium vehicles before. You have your charge now, charge later, your charge limit. So it says at 80% we'd have 248 miles of range, which is crazy for the size of his battery. You can set up a charging schedule. You can see your little energy use was actually like how they do this. We use 0.3 kilowatt hours on climate, half a kilowatt hour driving, and then nothing using remote start. Come into settings. One thing the route planner will do is it will let it precondition on the way to chargers, but you can also come in here and start it whenever, and it even tells you if it needs it or not. So we'll hit start, it'll spin, makes a little noise. And you can see actually our energy use is increasing because it just kicked on a heater or a cooler. So all that works great. All that's really cool. Coming through here as well, you've got a bunch of, so this is where the Hummer is a little special. So you have cameras here, which they all have, but this one has tons.
Yeah, it does.
So you've got your front camera, rear camera, that's expected. You also have top down front, top down rear, down the back on the sides, down the front on the sides, tow hitch, around view.
You can see the car behind us.
You can come in here. Here's your bed, and it just turned on the lights too. I don't know if you saw that. And you get, so this one actually I guess doesn't have the underbody cameras because it doesn't have the off-road package. But on the off-road package, there are actually cameras that are under the car and can let you see what's happening underneath you.
Oh, cool.
Which is pretty sweet. But yeah, they're a little grainier than I think they were in Silverado or Equinox, but again, this was the first Ultium, so that makes sense. And they still are perfectly adequate. Like, they're not bad, and having all those angles is a good thing. You can come in here and off-road. and you have a ton of stuff. So just starting off, you got a compass, you got your altitude, it shows you your drive mode.
Very Rivian-like.
It shows you your G meter. All that's neat.
Yep.
You can hit Hummer. You get pitch and roll. You get your suspension travel. You have auxiliary switches you can use for, like, if you put a light bar on it, or a winch or whatever else. You come in here as well. You can do air down, which is pretty cool. That's another panel for your auxiliary switches. All that's nice. All that's neat. We're going to come back here to the home screen. Trailering. So this does all the cool GM stuff that you can do with trailers, where you can save trailers. You could do cameras on the trailers and then have them integrate.
So if I have a boat trailer and then something else trailer, I can have multiple trailers stored.
And then it can integrate all that, and it'll even super cruise with a trailer attached, which is really nice. You have controls here for your rear climate as well. So we pointed out that it had a rear climate screen back there. You can also control it from here, which is nice, especially if you have kids or something like that.
Car seat back there and they can't control themselves.
The rest of this stuff is kind of normal. You have Wi-Fi, My GMC. Here's your vehicle settings.
Alexa.
Keeps going, type deal. We can come in here to settings real quick and just kind of poke around and see what we can find. So this gives you your vehicle settings, which this is how you can do your one pedal driving, which right now is set to high. It's pretty dang strong.
Yes.
Super cruise lane changing. Do you want to do automatic or do you not want it? Drive mode customization, climate, air quality. All this is very standard, normal GM stuff. It vibrates the seat for alerts. You got your adaptive cruise. If a car in front of you moves, it'll ding at you, whatever. All this is great. All this is nice. There's your park assist with the tow bar attached, which is pretty neat. See what's under lighting. I'm just curious. Vehicle located lighting.
Exterior.
One on, pressing the unlock button. Well, okay, cool.
Yeah. So it kind of illuminates your exterior lights when you're turning it on.
Anyway, so all this is very standard, very normal stuff. Easy exit vehicle height, so you can have it automatically lower when you open the door, which is cool stuff.
Take time.
We won't really go through anything else there. Now let's talk about the knob. So first off, you spin it to change drive modes. You have on-demand suspension adjustment. This button does something. We'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
This turns on and off your four-wheel steer, and if you press and hold it, it lets you crab walk.
Oh, which we're going to try here in a little bit.
And so let's go. I don't know if you can get a good view of the screen from where you're at. So this is like when you hit it, comes up. Rear wheel steer off. Rear wheel steer auto. That makes sense. And then you have your ride height increased, extract, which it only lets you do extract in terrain mode. And then entry exit, which I think are. There you go. It's actually going to do it this time. It wasn't doing it earlier. I think it's because where we're at. So that actually lowers the vehicle all the way down to make it easier to get in and out of, which makes sense. If you press and hold, if you'll back out now, if you press and hold this rear wheel steer button, you get.
Look at that.
And you do have to press and hold it. Now you see we have a little crab down here. It throws on our cameras, and I'm just going to throw it in drive. It's hard to show off sometimes, but you can actually see. So this is our rear wheels, right?
Yep.
Look at that. Look at that rear steer. So cool.
Get you in and out of some tough places.
And so if I do it lightly, let's see if we. Yeah, we're going straight, but also diagonal at the same time.
You'll see we're going straight. Yep.
That's pretty sweet. And you can do it in reverse, which is nice. Now, you do lose your side angles because in reverse, they are required by law to show you
those
your
wheels in the rearview mirror going sideways are just, it's cool looking. So,
This would be good for parallel parking.
Yes, it would.
This would be good for parallel parking. We're going to take it out of crab walk now because I don't need it anymore. There we go. And then, so this button is the funniest button in this interior. So if you just tap it, it doesn't seem to do anything, right?
Nope.
It actually comes up, your mode, your mission. Epic ideas at gmc.com. If you press and hold it. Well, maybe not. I lied to you. I thought that's how you did Watts to Freedom.
He lied to us.
I lied. I'm sorry. Okay, let's spin the knob now.
Yep.
If you'll show off the screen so you can see.
I'm back.
So one of the things GM was really proud of when they launched this car was they were using the Unreal Engine for all the animation. So those who are familiar will know the Unreal Engine is what powers a lot of video games, whatever. And so when you turn the knob, it's a little slow, but you get these pretty cool little animations. It's got like drones flying around it, and I was too slow. Yep. Then you kick it in off-road. Now you're on Mars.
Yep. So this is one of the things we're mentioning also too in the Facebook group.
Terrain,
so we need to look at the drive modes. So these are all different drive modes you can do.
Terrain, you're on the moon.
Yep.
My mode.
Going down a tunnel.
Off-road. Terrain. Tow haul, I'm towing a space shuttle.
Yep.
Normal mode, I'm driving on a road on the moon.
Yes. Nice paved road on the moon.
Like, it's so... it's so funny.
Yes.
And what's this button do? I don't even know. Okay, that gets us an off-road.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out how you do Watts to Freedom. I know it's in here.
I'm pretty sure it said you had to be on off-road only.
For the... I don't know if that's true. We'll look it up later. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. I'm going to get it back into normal.
Yeah, these graphics are really
It's like, it's a little slow to get started, but once it's started...
Yep.
It's pretty sweet. Also, I can hear the air compressor running.
Yep.
Which is one thing I will note. I have heard the air compressor a lot the whole time we've been in here. Also, forget we're still preconditioning. I'm probably also hearing.
You know, some of them we're running about 9.
And we've actually lost 4 miles of range since I
Kilowatts.
turned it
Lost
on.
4 miles of range. Yep.
Let's talk about this real quick. So, GM has started actually giving us percent readouts on the center screens. The Hummer doesn't have it yet. And so we are currently in the mode called Lunar. And it looks like this. And so you can come in here, you've got your right side, you can toggle through your trips, timer, tire pressures, driver's assistance, all that makes sense. Suspension travel, there's so many options.
There are.
You have a compass on the left, you can't change that one. Or at least I don't think you can. Display, oh, actually you can, I lied to you, I'm so sorry. I keep doing that. Compass, time and temp, tire pressure, pitch and roll, G-force.
You can put what you want over there. If you want the time and temp, all that you can change it, yes.
You have a bunch of different display layouts as well. So you have clean mode, which kind of takes everything, puts it away. You have just your range. You don't even have your power readings or anything like that. You can go into sport mode. And now you have the most prominent thing on here is how much power you're using, how much regen you're doing, whatever.
So right now I'm using, 6 kilowatts?
Yep. We're using 6 kilowatts of power to run whatever it's running. Off-road mode.
Something just cut it off.
Something just did cut off.
Yep.
Now you have your pitch and roll on the right, compass on the left. Your speedometer is up top. You have digital, which just kind of does a more wide view than we started, where you have your gauges on the top, on the left and right, and then your middle, and then same kind of
You did mention no percentage of active.
Yeah, no actual percentage. The only way to see what percent state of charge you're at is to turn it off when you open the door. There you go, we're at 65%.
The rest of it is like a bar graph. You have to use the bar graph, figure out what percentage you're at.
It's going to ding at us. It's about to speak. Give it a second to talk. This is one thing. So why is it taking so long for it to boot up, considering we didn't even, like...
That's true.
This is GM...
This vehicle is in demonstration mode.
There we go.
Connected by OnStar's high-speed 4G
you have a knob here for volume, which is good.
Press the blue OnStar button to learn more.
So GM, you need, I think, to definitely consider putting the same CPUs that you have in your new Ultium stuff in this.
Yep.
Because, I mean, this is a $107,000 truck.
Yep.
And, like, it works, and it works fine. But it's just sluggish enough to notice it. I don't know that there's really any, like...
There it is.
Okay, yes, you can turn on GPS. Stay into my mode. Yeah, it takes it a second to get going. This is...
It's almost like it needs an update almost.
I know, but it said it was up to date.
Yeah. We did check the OTA update.
We did check, because I didn't want to be unfair to it if it needed an update. That said, I don't know that there's a whole lot else to talk about in the interior, other than
these little handles to get out.
Yeah.
Door flaps.
And we noticed it. I've completely forgotten this is a feature. You can actually take this center post out when you have the roof off. You just have to undo these 4 bolts, and then you can have a wide open. You cannot do it in the rear, as far as I can tell.
So you could have a whole wide open area up here,
which would be pretty sweet.
That would be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Cruise down the beach too. Yep.
All right.
All right, we're gonna hop out of here, this park, and so we can get up to driving speed and give a driver review, and we'll see you all in a bit. Okay, we're back real quick because we figured out how to do the WTF, which stands for what?
Watts to Freedom.
Watts to Freedom, which is like the launch mode, I guess, for the GMC Hummer. So yes.
So first off, you have to be in drive. Then you take the traction control button. Real quick, let me just... You have a button here that does nothing. That should be the button for
That's
it.
the button for it, yep.
Anyway, so you take your traction control.
Yep.
Double tap it. We literally just did it, I promise.
Maybe you got to put it in park, put it in drive again.
Oh,
there we go.
There we go.
Had to think about it.
It plays a little video.
Yep.
It comes up here on this screen. Vehicle will lower. Check surroundings. So I'm going to hit continue. And it's going to come up here. It's going to lower the vehicle. And it does these cool little... I mean, it does take it a second.
Yes.
This is not the fastest air suspension I've ever seen. There we go. Watts to freedom armed.
So now we're not going to do it because we're in a parking lot with trees in front of us, but yes.
So I have my foot on the brake and it's like, you need to brake harder. And it is vibrating the seat. It's like pulsing. And so if you brake harder, and then it says floor it, and it wants me to just floor it straight into the trees.
We're not going to do that.
I'm not going to do that. Yeah. But anyway, it does work. It is pretty cool. I am assuming the video will drive.
Yep.
And golly, it is like boom, boom, boom.
It's like a massaging chair down here. Does this car have heated massage?
It does not massage. Just heated and cooled.
Okay.
And now we're back in normal mode, and it's raising the suspension back up. Anyway, okay, now let's buckle up. We can go for a drive.
All right, now we're going to buckle up and head out to Main Road and start driving. See you in a bit, y'all. All right, we are leaving Burns Park here on this little windy road here.
So just right off the bat, it's not as loud as I thought it was going to be. Considering it's got the all-terrain tires on it.
22-inch tires on it,
and it's shaped like a brick and everything. I mean, this is pretty smooth pavement. They had to come through and pave this semi-recently.
And they just recently blew the leaves off the road for us.
They did. I watched them do it while we were filming.
Yeah, at least on the one side. Yes.
At least on the one side.
They're blowing the leaves for us off the road.
But yeah, it is pretty smooth just right off the bat. I mean, I didn't take that super fast because it's a 9,000-pound SUV.
Yep.
It corners pretty well. I was supposed to turn back there.
It's fine.
Okay. I'm sure all roads lead to another road. But yeah, just my first impression of it is you can tell it's huge, but it drives pretty well. I'm curious. I want to feel. Oh!
That's some heavy regen.
So that was at 20 miles an hour. We just did 115 kilowatts of regen. That is insane.
That's a lot of energy.
And now I'm just curious. 26.
134.
135. God.
And we're going downhill too.
Yeah, but still. Golly. I mean, good.
Yes.
Because it weighs 9,000 pounds.
It can stop that
quick. That is so impressive. I love... Oh, that's one other thing. There was no way for me to show a map on this like there was on the Chevys.
No, there wasn't.
Interesting.
Yes.
Because I like having this big map, and I love that it's Google Maps. And so since it's Google Maps, it's always updating, whatever. But I would love to have it over there.
A little mini version of it over there.
Yeah. Yes. I feel like I have to ride in the middle of the road because I don't feel like this road is wide enough for this vehicle.
Hopefully no one comes the other way. So I'm assuming this will just drop us off back to the interstate.
Yeah,
yes.
It's just a little longer than I wanted it to be. So there is some motor noise. I don't know. I wonder if any of it's fake. Let's see. Whoa.
Back to my modes.
Motor sound.
Relaxed.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that was indeed fake motor noise.
So you can turn it off. It is a lot quieter in here.
Yeah, it's way quieter.
Hear a little more road noise with it off.
You do, actually. Yep. What's normal?
What's adrenaline?
I think adrenaline is...
Oh, wow. That's a lot of road noise. I mean, it's a lot of fake noise.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to... The fake noise does let you hear the road a little bit more than I thought it would. That's interesting. Just real quick.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. So
giddy up to
this thing weighs 9,000 pounds.
It went quick on 9,000 pounds.
Oh, this is awesome. I love it. Oh, I didn't even mention, so this being the GM vehicle, it has a regen paddle here on the left of the steering wheel. So if you're one pedaling and you just want even more regen, you pull that and you get even more regen.
So if you need to really stop quick,
and then you also have volume controls on the back of the right side of the steering wheel and next track, previous track on the left side of the steering wheel.
So those are on the back?
On the back.
Okay.
Which is a little weird when you first use it, but it's actually really intuitive.
Yep.
I love it in my Bolt. they've done it for a while on a lot of the GM vehicles, and like it just makes, because it's like I don't have to move my hands. I just keep driving and I just whoop, 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 whoop. Like it makes a lot of sense. This is actually a decent road for like going around corners. And I mean, this thing, for it to weigh 9,000 pounds,
it doesn't feel like you're top heavy, like you would think.
It is very well planted.
Like you would feel in a normal truck that you would sway a lot left.
I am kind of happy that this one's on the all-terrains, because I have a feeling the mud tires are a lot louder, and they probably don't handle as well.
You will probably be correct. Yes.
So now, because I know where I'm at now, we just took that circle in a different way than when we got here.
Now we know.
Now we know. Do we want to go east or west?
Let's go. Let's go west.
Okay.
Less traffic west.
Nice. This will give us a chance. We can kind of hit it a little hard, because this is one of those big curves.
Yep.
To get on the interstate, and so we can get it up to highway speed. See how quick it does it.
I love the large display too.
Yes. I just wish it was snappier.
Yes.
And I know they will probably at some point fix it, but I hope they have a way to make it better for the vehicles that are already out there.
Yeah.
Because again, this is $107,000.
Yes. We have lots of $100,000 reviews coming up here in the next week.
I know, this is insane.
Yes. We have this. We're going to get an iX. We're going to get a Volvo, which
i7.
is i7. Sorry.
Maybe an iX.
No, I think it's an iX.
Oh, I thought he sent you an i7.
But they might have sent me an i7, yes.
Because it was a sedan, right?
Sedan. So yes, the i7, and then this, and then also a Volvo.
Yep, an EX90.
Which is almost $100,000. Oh, man.
It boogies.
Yes, it does. And that just got us up to our normal
Yeah,
speed.
that just was to speed limit.
Yes.
Golly. Now, it definitely, the nose went up.
A lot more noise.
Hey, Silverado work truck.
There it is.
I think that's the first one I've seen on the road. I've driven one, obviously. I've been the one on the road.
Yes.
But
we've seen it in the public. There we go.
So, since we're out on the interstate, let's super cruise real quick. Cruise braking on, adapter set to 68.
So the green bar
light
is
means
lit
I'm
up.
good. And so now I'm hands-free. If I want to change lanes, auto lane change.
Shows up on the screen there. Well done. So Super Cruise has come a long way.
And again, this is a gigantic vehicle.
Yep.
So Joel, what are some of the things that owners have told you
we
to
have
talk about?
I've posted in the owners group. Thanks for everyone in the owners group that has replied to the comments about some pros and cons we should look forward to. So thank you to all the GMC owners out there. Special shout out to Kyle in the Facebook groups who gives a lot of things to look forward to. So you did say, right, this is Interstellar White and it's a Lunar Shadow. So some of the pros: four-wheel steering, the crab walk, the cooling charging pad people mentioned, the Super Cruise, and the removable roof panels. A lot of those things we got to experience with. Some of the cons, blind spots. So do you notice a lot of blind spots when you're driving?
It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
We don't have the cameras to show us when you switch lanes either, do you?
Mm-mm.
No, so there's no cameras that pop up to show you when you're switching lanes.
That said, you do have your blind spot monitors, which will help you for getting over and all that, and they work just as well as they work in every other car. It's auto lane changing right now. And it vibrated my seat to let me know it was doing it. That's actually really cool. I can tell, you're going to have blind spots in front of you because it's built like a brick and you're high up. But it's not that bad. I do want to point out real quick, there's a lot more road noise at highway speed.
There's a lot more road noise, yes.
Which, it's built like a brick, so I shouldn't be surprised. Yes. But it is definitely louder in here at highway speed. A lot more wind noise, yes. It vibrated the right side of my seat, and we're getting back over. That is sweet.
Another big, huge, and this one we've talked about, a lot of big, huge cons. I've been listening to groups. Tech is a little glitchy. Mm-hmm. It is. Tech is a little glitchy. It's a little laggy. So we want to thank everyone who popped in the Facebook group to share some of those ideas with us. Thank you so much. We've kind of hit on all of them. So
yeah, and again, they could fix it, especially knowing how well it works in the Silverado and in the Equinox, and I presume the Blazer, although we haven't gotten a Blazer yet. Yep. Like seeing how well it works in that, this can be fixed.
Yes.
They just have to do it.
But comfort-wise, this is a very comfortable ride.
Yeah, this is a great seating position.
You got power front seats, so I got power seats here. I got lumbar support.
Yeah, power steering wheel. It's a $107,000 car.
You're going to get all that. Plenty of room. If you had to travel long distance in here, you got route planning. You got the Super Cruise.
Route planning, that does work. It's not the best. It's not my favorite. They could be fixed, though. again, and that's a lot of that route planning is probably Google's fault.
Yep. If you're an EV geek like us, you'd probably have another app like Waze or a better route planner
Yep.
open just to double check. So yeah.
So I'm actually going to loop around here because I meant to get back on 430 and not stay on 40.
Yep.
Auto lane change. Is it going to do it again? No, but it's okay. I can stay in this lane. And it should automatically kick off Super Cruise as soon as
we are leaving at mapped highways. The Super Cruise only works on mapped highways, correct?
There you go. Yes.
And it did cut
Super
off
Cruise
once
is pre-mapped.
Yep.
The vehicle comes with 3 years of Super Cruise, and after that, it is a subscription. I don't know how much the subscription is.
If you know how much it is, put it in the comments for us.
Yeah, and I'll probably overlay it because if it's over a certain amount of money, it's a tough pill to swallow.
Yep.
I really like what Ford's doing, and I hope maybe GM will see it and maybe make it an option in the future. Ford is actually allowing you to, at time of purchase, pay for a lifetime Blue Cruise license. So you can pay, I think it's an extra like $30,000 on the vehicle, and you can just have Blue Cruise for as long as you have the vehicle.
Does it transfer vehicle to vehicle? Probably
That's
not.
a good question.
Yes. But it doesn't in
not.
Teslas. Teslas, unless they're running a special or something, it does not transfer.
Yeah, it probably doesn't, but still, I appreciate that it doesn't have to be a monthly subscription if you don't want it to be. At the same time, if you're someone who doesn't road trip a lot,
Yep.
maybe you don't care to do Super Cruise on your daily commute and you only want Super Cruise or Blue Cruise or FSD, whatever, on times that you are making those trips, being able to just subscribe for a month and then cancel after a month is also great.
Yep.
That one pedal driving.
Complete stop. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That felt really good.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah,
a lot of people only use those features when they're driving long distance. I mean, I have FSD on my Tesla. I never use it just driving around town. I only use it on a long distance.
And for me, my commute is on a highway, but it wouldn't be a mapped highway.
Yeah.
Because it's just a U.S. highway.
Yep.
It's not. It's a non-divided whatever. So I would only ever use it on a trip. So I would probably do the monthly version.
Yep.
Subscribe for a month if I know I'm taking a long road trip. Cancel it when I'm done. Type deal. And so I love the flexibility, but I also would love it if GM gave you the ability to, after the 3 years that you get included with the vehicle, to just cancel it.
Yep.
Or not cancel it, just pay one time and have it for as long as you own the vehicle.
Yep.
I love the digital rearview mirror. This is one of those things. It's like I have it in my Bolt.
It should be standard
and it's
on every
amazing.
car now.
I don't know why it's not in every car because I can see everything behind me. I can see every lane. I can that helps a lot with the blind spots.
You can even see going off the side of the road on the rumble strip.
So that is one thing that I've seen people criticize GM for. You don't get lane centering unless you're in Super Cruise.
So it doesn't go beep beep?
Yep.
Okay.
And unless it's a button and I just have it turned off and I don't know it.
Yep.
Let's see. It might have been a button and it might have just been turned off.
Look in the middle there on that
Let's
left.
see, because now I have a little icon here.
Up. May have it now.
So maybe that was it. Because I've seen people complain about that a lot though. And maybe it's not, maybe it's the fact that it doesn't do lane centering.
Yes.
Unless you're in, because I think that's just lane departure.
Because it looks like it's on now. Your green things are popping up over there.
So I think it might just be lane departure doesn't do anything unless you are in Super Cruise.
So FYI, once again, if you're looking for an efficient EV, this would not be it. We've driven 8.3 miles.
And it's 1.1.
1.1 mile per kilowatt hour. So, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's important to talk about too. This has a 180 kilowatt hour usable battery pack.
Compare that is like, 2.5 of my Teslas?
My Bolt
Almost
has a 60 kilowatt hour
Almost
usable.
3 of my Teslas. Yes.
My Bolt 60 kilowatt hour, so it's 3 times my Bolt.
Yep.
It's important to note too, though, if you can go to a 350 kilowatt station, it doesn't take that long to charge considering how much energy it is. I think 30 minutes is a normal charging stop.
So it's a pretty decent curve on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, I mean, 30 minutes is is not a short charging stop, especially by a lot of modern
But if you have a 180
standards.
kilowatt hour battery.
It's really good.
Yeah.
You can do okay, I was correct. It is not lane centering, it's just lane keeping.
Okay.
You can do adaptive cruise separate though, which is nice.
Okay.
We hit Super Cruise. Super Cruise unavailable, no road information. Oh, okay.
Yep.
So this is that's a little surprising.
Yeah, because this is an interstate.
This is an interstate and it hasn't changed recently.
Oh,
yeah.
3 wipers.
Which is great.
Every
I
car
love
needs
it.
This window is not super tall either.
Yeah, so GM would probably hate to hear me say this. It reminds me of an FJ Cruiser. You know, the FJ.
I was thinking of Jeep Wrangler or something like that.
Yeah, the FJ has a very narrow. It also has very windshield wipers. Which isn't a bad thing. Everyone loves the FJ.
Yep. It's got a cult following. Yep.
Yeah, but this thing just looks awesome.
It does.
It's like, and we were watching people as we were out there in that parking lot filming, going down the road. People were like slowing
stopping down. Yes.
People were slowing down. And I could see them craning their necks.
If you're buying this car, you're not buying it for its efficiency.
Yeah, you're buying it because it just looks cool.
Looks good.
And you have the money, obviously.
Yes. You have 110 grand to spend on a car that you can throw the roof off and then drive down the road looking super dope. Yes.
It does have auto wipers, which is nice.
That's important. And they're actually decent.
And they're actually working.
Unlike Tesla, which if the light hits it, won't funny, the wipers will come on.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, there's a lot more road noise.
nice, kind of like Lyric
expecting.
that just passed us.
There was? Where?
Yep.
Oh, was it
red
going the other way?
It was going the other way, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, I missed it.
Yep.
I was too busy hosting. I do appreciate also you get your speed sign recognition. I'm curious if we can get into Super Cruise now. No, still no. Huh. That's
Worked
really
on this road
surprising.
before with the Silverado. We were on the same road before. Yep.
Oh yeah, it did, didn't
Yep.
it? Huh. Interesting.
Is this technically an interstate?
Yeah,
Yes,
this is an interstate.
yeah,
It's
'cause I know
I-430.
but it's over the other side. It's 440, so it's different. It's not
Well,
an
440 is the other side,
Yes.
and it's Interstate 440 until you get to where it meets 40, and then it's Arkansas 440 to
Yes.
Jacksonville. It's a little confusing. It's a little weird.
But Super Cruise should work on this road. Ooh, that's a big curve.
It is a big curve and a big vehicle.
All right. Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up and head back and give our final impressions?
I love this thing, dude.
Yeah.
If I had $107,000,
Yep.
I
Or
would-
102. There's a
Or
discount
102.
too. Yeah.
or I might be okay with the 2X.
Yep.
You know, it's only the dual motor. It still has a lot of the same interior
Yep.
features. And that one I think is like 100 grand.
Yep.
Although at the same time it's only 10 grand difference,
Yep.
then
If you're paying 100, you might as well
get the 3 motor. But yeah, if I had the money, I would buy one of these just because it's freaking cool.
So we're going to head back to Guatney Buick GMC. Once again, huge shout out to Justin and his team over there for letting us borrow the Hummer EV 3X. We'll get back with you in a bit to give you our final thoughts. See you, everyone. All right, we made it back to Guatney Buick GMC. Thank y'all so much for letting us hang out with this Hummer EV for the last 2 hours. All right, final thoughts. Start with you, Sebastian.
Dude, I love this thing.
It's sweet.
I would hope I love it. It's $107,000.
Yes.
I would hope it was good, but like this thing is sweet. The fact that the only thing I can fault it on is the infotainment system was a little laggy. It still works fine. It's just laggy.
Yep.
The fact that that's the only thing I can fault it on, I mean, says a lot. I do wish some of it had some of the newer Ultium stuff, like having the column shifter, being able to just get in and put your foot on the brake and get out, and it just shut off. I do want it to have some of that stuff, and they can add that stuff, I'm sure, in the coming model year. But like that's minor gripes, and ultimately for me it doesn't matter because I have a vehicle with a start button and a normal shifter, so like that's all fine. It drove really well. It has plenty of power, even with this being the only 830 horsepower version, not the 1,000 horsepower version. Rear wheel steer definitely helps a lot. We did come down here and pop a UE just to feel
But we
it.
almost made it.
And we almost made it, which again, this vehicle is huge. It's over 80 inches wide and it weighs 9,000 pounds. All that jazz. We didn't take it and charge it because we actually burned it decent. We're at like 50% now. We burned like 20.
1.4 miles per kilowatt
40
hour.
miles, we burned like 20% of the battery. Insane. I have an interesting question for you, Joel.
Oh no, he's gonna make me pick a car.
So, I have seen these used for like 65 grand. If you were spending 65 grand on a used vehicle, like I've seen Rivians at 65 grand. I've seen fairly high trim level Lightnings. I've seen those vehicles for cheaper as well. We're just looking 65 grand.
See if I can get me a Silverado work
You can
truck.
get you a Silverado work truck. You can get you one of these used. You can get a Silverado work truck new. You can get a Rivian lightly used. You can get a Lightning new.
All right. So what do y'all think? Y'all put your comments down. What would you get?
I understand that those are all four very different kind of vehicles. You know, your Silverado is an actual truck.
Yep.
Your Rivian, the Rivian actually is more similar to this in a lot of ways because they market them similar.
Yep.
They're both marketed as kind of adventure, lifestyle vehicles, you know, whatever. And then the Lightning is a Lightning. The Lightning is a truck that's nice and comfortable.
Yeah, rides like a normal truck.
Yeah.
So, the one thing I really do like about the Rivian is their software. So, it would probably come down to this or a Rivian. Lightning, I mean, I'd probably just buy Lightning just for a family vehicle for us to drive in. If I had to buy Silverado, it would not be the work truck. I'd want the upper trims, which are over 100,000. So, yeah, that's a tough one. Probably would slightly pick a Rivian simply because it'll probably fit in my garage better than this. But yeah, it's a tough choice. I mean, because they really do have But then again, I may just want one of these, just ride around in style. I'm just for people to gawk at me. So it's a tough choice.
For me, I think it would just depend on how I was feeling on the day I was going to buy a car. Because I really liked this thing.
Yes. I mean, I honestly thought, I've been in one before, but it's only been for like 10 minutes, so I really didn't get a chance to play with it. It rides comfortably. You were able to use Super Cruise almost the entire time on the interstate.
And it worked well.
The only time it didn't work well was coming over the river here in Little Rock. They completely redid that bridge, so it hasn't been mapped yet, I'm sure, so it cut off there. But you were on all the mapped interstates, you were Super Cruise, and it was flawless, lane change and all that. So, love that. You're right. The software is just a little glitchy, just a little slow, but nothing major. Just like almost having like an old phone or something like that.
And if it drives you insane too bad, it has Apple CarPlay.
Yeah, that's Apple CarPlay. It has
which the other GM electric vehicles can't say they have.
Yep.
And I'm surprised it still has Apple CarPlay, considering it's a 2025 and they could have taken it out at any point.
Yep.
So kudos to them for not doing that. And it's big. It has plenty of room.
Plenty of room.
Like, this thing is way...
You could long distance travel in this.
You 100% could. Yeah. Like, the range would hurt a little bit.
Range would hurt.
It's not bad. I mean, still 312 miles of EPA range is still a...
when we put our trip from here to Austin, I think it's at 3 or 4 stops.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But you could road trip in it for sure. It's got plenty of room. The seats are comfortable. Like, we've been in it, like you said, for a little over an hour now, and I'm still fine. I don't... My butt doesn't hurt, none of that. I truly did not expect this to be as good as it... Because to me... Like, you buy this and, like, it's just cool. Mm-hmm. It's a cool looking vehicle.
It's eye candy.
It's eye candy, whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be an awesome EV, because you're not probably winning over a lot of EV buyers with this vehicle. You're winning over people who want to be flashy, whatever. And the fact that it's electric is just cool, right? They're not necessarily looking, but it does a lot of the EV stuff super well. The one pedal driving was great, and it has so much reach in.
Yes, it does.
So much reach in.
It's the little things like that, just like the one pedal driving, the tech, just some of the little things that even just matter.
On the one pedal driving, like the blending between regen and friction braking was really good. There's so many EVs that do one pedal driving but do it poorly because they're doing it. They don't get that blend super well. Like, it kind of feels a little herky-jerky down there at low speeds. Like this, it just felt good. I love the climate controls. Like, everything I touch is good.
Yes.
Like, I didn't touch anything in here except for the lagginess on the infotainment.
You don't think cheap plastic or not built well or anything like that.
Everything in here feels good. We didn't even point out, it has a giant storage compartment under this, which we can't show with the way we have it. But I didn't even notice until right this second that it still has the giant purse spot.
Yep.
Like, everything in this interior feels good.
Yep.
It drove super well. It didn't drive like it weighs 9,000 pounds. And sorry I keep bringing that up, but that is an insane weight for a vehicle. It is. Especially a vehicle that just anybody with enough money can go out and just buy.
Yep.
It did super well.
It did.
I am thoroughly impressed. I love this thing. If you were looking to spend $100,000 on a pickup truck,
if you have $100,000 to kill on a pickup truck, on a luxury pickup truck,
there are a lot worse vehicles you can spend $100,000 on.
Yes. All right, we're gonna wrap it up for today. We want to thank everyone for watching. As always, put your comments down on what you thought about the Hummer EV, or something that we missed, or something that we got right or wrong. We'd love to hear from you. Another huge shout out to Guadney Buick GMC for letting us borrow this baby for a couple hours, and also a shout out to all those members on the social media pages who gave us some tips and tricks before we reviewed this car. We will see you again on another EV Geek podcast review. So long, everyone.